So this one is too big. Itaingia mpaka ndani. Okay. Right, so are you going to shoot the questions?
Okay, maybe Mr. Commissioner, just give us a brief overall of the sporting situation in Kenya in the year 2014.
I think the year 2014 has been fairly good for Kenya. But like any country, we recorded our successes and a few failures. And if I can judge it from in a percentage kind of way, I would say that we were probably 70% successful, which is a reasonable mark, which is fairly good, comparing that Kenya is a major player in international sport. And it is other countries of the world which we were competing with in most of the cases, and we were also competing with some of the best athletes in the world. So starting with the ministry, as you are aware, in the year 2013, the ministry inaugurated, the government and through parliament inaugurated the Sports Act 2013. And this particular year, 2014, the ministry has been very active in setting up the new institutions which were created by the Sports Act. These are Sports Kenya, the Sports Academy, the Sports Tribunal, the Sports Fund, and the last one I forget. But these are major institutions in the ministry, in the management and running of sports, and they have the potential of really transforming the scene of sports in the country. A milestone is that the ministry, through the cabinet secretary, has gazetted these institutions and appointed members of the boards of these institutions, and the institutions are operational. They are undergoing through the normal teething problems of a young institution, but they are going to find their ground, and they are going to take off in a strong way so that Kenyans, and particularly the sports fraternity, can feel their effect. This is also a year when the ministry has stood very, very firm and demonstrated its commitment in the fight against doping in sport. And a new body is to be instituted and set up called Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya. And the government has already, through the Department of Sports, set aside offices for anti-doping body, and the government will facilitate them to take off the ground so that they can take their effective role in the fight against doping in sport. The government, through the ministry, has strongly demonstrated that Kenya does not encourage doping in sport. We believe in playing true, and we believe in playing clean. And we expect the other countries of the world to follow suit so that athletes can win because of their natural athletic talent and their level of skill, but not because of cheating through sport. And I think we have demonstrated that. The year 2014 has also been a good one. If you will recall, the Football Federation managed to successfully bid for the 2018 African Nations Championships, popularly called CHAN, and this was successful, and it has been awarded to Kenya officially by CAF. So that's another achievement, a milestone that we have had for the year 2014, because we have officially been awarded the rights to host the 2018 African Nations Championships, which will take place right here in Kenya. In athletics, Athletics Kenya, right now as we speak, Athletics Kenya and very senior government officials, including the Ministry of Sports, Culture and the Arts, are at the IAAF headquarters in Monaco, and they are actually bidding to host the 2017 World Junior Championships. Our hearts and prayers go out to them so that we get a successful bid. Everything has been put in place by the government. Everything has been put in place by Athletics Kenya to ensure that Kenya wins this a chance to host the the World Junior Athletics Championships. It will be recalled that Kenya in 2007 hosted the World Cross Country Championships in Mombasa, which was very, very successful. And in 2010, we hosted again the African Athletics Championships, the senior category, and once again it was very, very successful right here in Nairobi. So we hope that the bid to host the World Junior Championships in 2017 will be successful. Going federation by federation on the African scene, we began with the African Athletic Championships, with the African Cross Country Championships. It will be recalled that the World Cross Country Championships now is a biannual event, and in 2014 it was not there. It will be there in 2015. So in 2014, early 2014, we held the African Cross Country Championships in Kampala, Uganda, and Kenya emerged the overall country by winning all the categories of the championship, and I think that was great for us. It went on to demonstrate that Kenya is still the supreme cross-country running nation in the world. We've won more world championships, more overall title in the World Cross-Country Championship than any other country in the world. In rugby, the Rugby Sevens has continued to perform fairly well. They had a very tough season this year and finished 7th overall. But considering that most of these players are not professional players, these are students, these are young people working in various offices, these are people still going to college, and bearing in mind that they're not professionals, while playing against the top professionals in the rugby world, I think finishing 7th overall was reasonable, and Kenyans should not demand too much. However, this is a team that is capable of finishing even among the top 3 in the world, and the rest of the world knows it. The potential for our rugby team is enormous, and this year they fought well. They won some of the games, they lost some of the games, and finished 7th overall, which is respectable. The Commonwealth Games took place in Glasgow, Scotland, and once again Kenya performed fairly well. We won 10 gold medals, 10 silver medals, and 5 bronze medals, and finished 9th overall in the world. Finishing 9th in the Commonwealth Games, I think, is a good achievement. And in Africa, we were 3rd. We were the 3rd country. Right after the Commonwealth Games, there was the African Athletic Championships in Marrakesh, Morocco, where again Kenya emerged the overall winner. But back to the Commonwealth Championship in Scotland, I wish to also point out that in that particular championship, the Kenyan javelin thrower Julius Yego managed to win the gold medal in the javelin throw, and this was the first ever gold medal in the Olympic or Commonwealth Games that Kenya had ever got in the field events. So this is a major achievement, and we want to acknowledge and applaud Yego for making this big achievement for Kenya. The Marrakesh Championships, as I've already said, were very, very good, and once again Kenya performed very, very well. This is also a year, and then after the Marrakesh Championship, there was the World Junior, Olympic Youth Championship, which took place in Nanjing, China. Kenya took a very, very small team. Indeed, they were just made of a handful of athletes and the rugby team. And the rugby team, young and inexperienced as they were, they still finished 4th overall. And I think that was also a very good show, And that is a team that can be molded to be a future strong rugby outfit. In athletics, of course, we won most of our categories, and so going on to demonstrate that we are one of the leading athletics nations in the world. This is also a year that has seen unprecedented wrangles at the Athletics Kenya Federation. We want to see this as normal democratic forces within a democracy, because it is recognized that our sports federations are elected officials. And in any democratic society, such issues about leadership, about the quality of leadership, will emerge from time to time. However, the advice we'd like to give the athletic fraternity is to sit together as a community and look at the issues that the protagonists have against the incumbent office bearers, and look at the justification of these issues. Look at them soberly, and they can bring the ministry on board. We will be very happy to mediate, to step in and bring sobriety in the management of athletics, and see where issues which can be corrected fall. We can recommend that these issues be looked into with a view to rectifying them. Otherwise, sustained continued wrangles within the federation will actually mess the good work that we have achieved before. However, no leadership is infallible, and they must also re-examine themselves and look at the issues being raised with a view to correcting them. That is the advice that I would personally want to give the leadership at Athletics Kenya. So generally and overall, it has been a good year. We are moving towards the end of the year, and it has been a good year. As I gave my own rating, about 70% level of success in our major championships. Cricket, unfortunately, there's no story to write about cricket. It's a sad story, and it is a black spot in the record of our sports for this year. And the cricket management, we urge them also to critically look at themselves and come to the ministry. We will offer them support. We will offer them ideas. We will support them. We will support their programs so that cricket comes up. Cricket is at an all-time low in Kenya. They failed to qualify for the 2015 World Cup. For the first time. We have always qualified for the World Cup, and this time we failed to qualify. It will be recalled that in 2003, Kenya actually hosted jointly the World Cup with South Africa, and we emerged third in the world. So for a country that has emerged third in the world to fail to qualify for the same championship, I think something needs to be looked into. And we are ready to work with officials at Cricket Kenya to completely overhaul the management and the ideas and the programs within the federation, so that once again we can be on the winning track and back to success. It must also be recognized that Kenya is a one-time country which was fighting to be among the top 10 test-playing nations in the world. So this is a matter of concern, and we urge the cricket leadership to take note of our concerns. It is also noted that the national team did not participate in any major championships apart from the World Cup qualifier, which we failed to get. There's really no activity going on in the federation. We urge the federation to pull up its socks, and we leave our doors open and invite them to come on board so that together we can chart the way forward for the growth of the game of cricket in Kenya. Overall, it has been a good year. 2014 overall has been a good year, and we want to build on that in 2015 and achieve even greater success than we did. 2015 will have a lot of challenges as well. We will have the World Athletics cross-country season at the beginning of the year. Later in the year, we shall also have the African Games, formerly called the All Africa Games, now called African Games, to be held in Brazzaville, Congo, and we expect a good show from Kenyan teams. Thank you.
That's the